Let me see. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, geez. Let's see. There we go. Trying to make all of them visible. There we go. I think that's working. Someone message. Let me know that you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Maybe. Let's see. I gotta find my phone. Oh, I don't have any idea what I did with my phone. I have no idea what I did with my phone. I have no idea what I did with it. Oh, there it is. Thought ahead, I brought it with me. And apparently my phone doesn't recognize my fingerprints. Okay. Alright, I am trying to get to the right spot. Okay, good. Someone finally messaged that they could hear me. Great. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. I'm still messing with the setup. Trying to get it in the right spot. So, oh, actually, you guys can't see anything that I have set up over here. So anyway, here's my fermenter. So what I should have going in here is koji, and I did pop the seal just a little bit to give it a sniff, and it does sound like, oh, hello lion, please. You know what, I'm gonna make sure that I have my that my chat is going up on my phone too, because that only brings it up for a certain amount of time and then it shuts it off. So I want to be sure I can see it. Oh, lion, like the shirt, huh? Yeah, that's that Night in the Woods. Got that at PAX. Was able to find that. Oh, Woodster. Glad to see you. Good to see you. So, yeah, sake making process, really interesting. I had some worries. Uh-oh. We have a god ray. Do we have a god ray? That would be a god ray. Let's see if I can move this over a skosh. See if that's any better. Just have to stand back a little bit. Got a little bit of a god ray going this way, but I think we'll just deal with that one. So how this is made is it's actually not with yeast. Yeast, like sugars, that's easy. It's very accessible. So table sugar, juices, honey, agave, molasses, anything that has active sugars, that's easily accessible. But when you're dealing with stuff like with beer, with malted barley, anything that's starchy, yeast doesn't like eating that. So since I'm using rice for sake, that's all starches. So if you just put yeast in there, it's not really going to do anything. And so you actually use a specific bacteria, and I believe it is the bacteria that they use for making sauerkraut. I think it's the same bacteria. I have to double check that. But oh, by the way, if you live in Japan, what you're watching right now is completely illegal. It is still, to this day, illegal to brew sake on your own in Japan. That's absolutely fascinating to me. So it's going, oh, everyone's saying hi. Look at that, everyone's saying hi. Look at that, look how nice everyone's doing. Nice everyone's been. Also, you have a bucket, also you have a bucket that have Idaho on it. Oh, no, that's just because that's the one that came. I actually don't like the buckets. Buckets are something that I particularly like. The fermenter that I like is usually made out of glass. I just don't like plastic stuff, not when you're dealing with alcohol, because it leaches out any chemicals that's there. Actually, give me a second. I'll show you the fermenter that I bought that's going to replace this one. There you go. Just a glass. It's a glass jug. I'm sure it's like that. It's got a hole drilled in it. This is a 2-part airlock. I don't really like these. I like S-locks, but same kind of thing. Just kind of breaks off. I don't really count the cap. I actually don't put caps on mine. I like them to where they just bubble out into the open air, because I have my fermentation stuff next to a furnace, and that usually tends to get a little bit of a fermentation explosion, so it goes really fast. And I've got a little O-ring on the side to seal it, but I don't want to disturb the koji, so I'm not going to move it until I'm ready to start racking and moving stuff over to add more rice, because this looks like about ready to get some more. Clutch Zone asking what I'm doing. Trying to figure out how close I can get without like doing this, so you're just talking to or seeing all of that. I'm having to back up a bit. Oh, where did I get my shirt? Yes, from PAX. This is from PAX 2019. This was actually at their little setup. And actually, I got some more stuff. Hold on a second, I'll show you. I didn't get all of these pens at PAX, but I got the Night in the Woods pens. See, I got some Night in the Woods stuff. I got B right there. The rest of this stuff is all Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, except for a couple of them. See, like I got a Derg in there. I was. Oh, how ironic. Pray to the gods indeed. We'll set that one aside. Anyway, I was there at their event for Control, so I got one of their pens for that. That one was really fun. I was able to talk to the representative for their little special that they were doing, and I got to play the game before it had come out on their big, huge screen. That's like the side of a building. It's so big. So yeah, he interviewed me, wanted to know how much video game experience I had, wanted to know if it was something I'd be willing to do. I said, heck yes, I'm willing to do that. Play in front of 7,000 people, to where when you come in, at least during that hour, when they would come in, there's no way to avoid it. You would see me playing the game. It was pretty freaking cool. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to go off on that tangent for just a minute. Forgetting I can just have it scan my fingers. Oh yes, B. I agree, Lion Plays It. B's my favorite too. Tobias, it's not your day. It's not my day. It could be my day. It's my day off, so I'll take that as being my day. Like that. Why is it always in your videos that something drops or falls over? Well, that's because we got imps. We got imps. Perhaps it's the imps from Has Been Hotel. Or sorry, that would be Hell of a Boss. Ooh, now I just really pissed them off, didn't I? Misdid it. Oh, and if you guys have been with it since somewhat of the beginning, you know that I had Mead going at one point, and actually, I have that down here. There she is. So, she's been clarifying, because as you see, you can see my hand moving behind it, and yeah, it's doing very well. It'll probably be like this for another month or two, and then it'll be re-racked again, and it'll just be re-racked for every month, 2 months, probably until the snow flies. When the snow flies again for this coming winter, this will be ready to go, and it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited about that. And then also found there's a trip I went on with some family, and luckily I was able to find a bottle of of mead from a very specific winery. And I think I have it put away. Oh, nope, I see it. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, there you go. I ended up finding this at Walmart of all places. I think it's because it's somewhat local. A little bit. So, of course, you can have it ordered, but these guys are really good. I really would suggest them. The Honeywood Winery, really good stuff. They have regular mead, they have blackberry, they have all different kinds of wines, not just mead, but I think the mead is one of the things that they're known for. It's really hard to find, but it's super easy to make. Oh, jumping back up on that thing. Oh, look at that. Look at all you guys being nice. Look at all you guys interacting. Isn't that just swell? Okay. Anyway, so I want to pop this open. I want to take a look at the koji, see how that's going. It has compacted significantly, and I'm hoping we got some liquid in here that we can pull up and try and see how it tastes. So I'm going to crack this baby open and we'll see what happens. I got some other stuff I'm going to do. I need to make a batch of cold brew. I need to strain out cold brew that I have made up in the fridge. So yeah, just hang out and I'm just going to do some chores and do some checking. Now I'm going to pop this open. Normally you would never want to pop open a fermentation vessel, but sake is completely different. Traditionally, it's not even covered. Like the most covering that was done was that it would have a piece of cheesecloth over it. There's no, like that's about it. There's even records of it just being open fermentation, like there's no cover on it at all. But I wanted to do an S-lock, but as you see, my water line over here, the water line is even. Any of you biology or physics or any of you science majors should know if this is under pressure, even just by putting the cap on, it should not be even. And the problem is that I have a leak. So if there's a little bit of weight, you'll watch the pressure change in the water on the S-lock. See it change, and then zip, goes back to being even. The reason for that is because I got a leak somewhere. So you can manually make a change, but you'll see how it's very slowly going back. Now it's negative pressure. It'll go back. Now it's even. Definitely have a leak in there, and that would be like a death sentence for like the mead. That wouldn't be a good thing, but since this is traditionally done so open, it doesn't matter. So let's pop it open. These things are a pain in the rear to open up. Try not to disturb the koji. Can I come in? Ooh. Close it on that side. Stop closing. Thank you. Ooh, yeah, we definitely got some stuff going here. It's made a coating on top of it. Come here and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Yeah, there's the camera thing. As you see, it almost looks like there's some yeast in there. Is this seeing anything? Let's see if you can. I'm gonna have to shut everything off while I'm doing it. There we go. But it's almost like a puck. See how it's kind of moving? Now that's good because it should separate, so that's a good thing. So I'm wanting to, I'm gonna get this lid pop back on there. I don't want that just open for a super long time. But what I'm wanting to do is I want to get just a little bit of that liquid and I want to give it a taste test. And can definitely smell that there's alcohol in there, which is good. That means that we've got stuff going on that's active. And I'm going to put you back where you was at. Kind of. anyway, give you an idea of what the koji is doing, and it's all good stuff. I'm pretty happy with it, and it's working better than what I thought it was going to. My S-lock's a little low. I'm just putting some water in it. There you go. Fill that boy back up. I'm gonna put the lid back on here. So that's very exciting. That means that this is my very first attempt with sake, and it's yeah, that's very much success. So I'm gonna mix up some of this to make some sanitizer. And we're gonna get just a little bit and give it a little test. Gonna christen it in one of these bad boys. One of those. All right, so I think I might have to move you again because I'm gonna be doing some stuff over here. You know, I'm just gonna move you over there. How about that? Let's just take you and we're gonna move you over here. Oh, Tobias, that's so nice. Very nice. I'm glad that you like my videos. Okay, so you're gonna see it from this side. We're gonna use, I like using a basin. When we mix this up, we're gonna mix it up with hot water. Trying to get this where you can see, but I don't want to blind you guys out. Is that too much? I know it's too much light, but because when that gets turned off, it's going to get dark. You have to see when it goes off, that's some dark stuff. So we'll just leave it like that. Should be fine. But we're going to heat this up. We're going to use hot water. I'm going to do about half a gallon. Use this for measuring. In it goes. And the reason I'm measuring this is because you have to mix so much of this per gallon of water. And since we're doing half, you just need half a tablespoon. So that's a good. I like giving this time to dissolve and kind of all mix in. And I'm going to do just a little bit heavy because I'd rather go a little heavy on the sanitizer, just to be sure. I don't think this koji is going to have any problems. I'm really surprised that it did as well as it did. I figured it would be a little bit slow, but it seems to be doing just fine. So doing very well. I'm very happy with that. This should come out, should be pretty milky white. Should look like watered down milk. Is what it should end up looking like. So I'm just gonna mix the sanitizer a little bit. Hear all that grit? That's a lot of grit. And the reason I'm setting it there is just gonna go back in. Anything I have sanitized, just put it on a towel. So I'm going to let that dissolve for just a moment. I'm going to go through your stuff here. We'll see what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to go up a little bit. All right. Oh, Doug Lewis. Doug Lewis. So glad you were able to join. Says hi to me. Oh yeah, see, I could tell from your name. I know who you is. All right, let's see. And I'm going back to. We're going to start with Wind Dragon here. Let's see what he says. It says, isn't that the same mead you used in your serious talking videos? Yeah, that's the same stuff. Normally mead will just tell you when it's done. As stupid as it sounds, it's almost like a language. Like if you're big into cars, you know when you're driving your car, you know when something's off a little bit. The same kind of thing. The Mead will tell you when something's wrong. It'll tell you when it's good to go. It's just you just gotta have to learn how to speak the language. And I just always thought that this stuff was cool. You know, I got into it because I uh, really fascinated by prohibition. It's the first time any, at least the American government tried to put a law on morality, because that's specifically what it was for. There was a fantastic. I wish I could find it. I can't find it, but if I could, I'd buy it. It's a fantastic Ken Burns documentary that I think it's at least an hour and a half, probably 2 hours at least. It's really incredible, and it goes through that prohibition. Although I completely disagree with it, obviously, it was really tied in with the women's suffrage movement at the time, and the women's suffrage movement really clamped onto that and helped launch it forward. And if it was not for income tax, prohibition would have gone on significantly longer, because the American government got really used to the alcohol tax. They got really used to all that extra money coming in, and they weren't going to let that go if they didn't have something to replace it. And they did, and that's when income tax started. Now, I'm not perfect at all this history stuff, so I could be getting a couple things off, but that's what I remember. So, anyway, it's going. Lego Creator 768 says hi. Well, hello to you, sir. Woodster 18 saying hi. Say hello to you too. Dominic Martin, you've been in a lot of my stuff. Always nice to see you come back. Lego Creator says, or she, sorry, I don't mean to misgender anyone. Thought I could come here for a bit before I head to bed. Currently got a big Derg plush next to me. That's so nice. So nice. Yeah, see, I thought it was weird because I just sleep more comfortably. I can sleep without holding on to something, obviously, but it said that it's a very large majority of people that still sleep with some kind of security, either blanket or a stuffed animal or something. So it's not as weird and as uncommon as you might think. Oh, Johnson saying hi. Actually highlighted my name. Very nice, thank you. Ooh, are those dabbing? Is that dabbing? Is that dabbing? Are you seeing that? Those are dabbing emojis. How? Where did you find? You know what? Moving on. Joshy Plus, you said you feel kind of down today. Why do you feel down? Don't feel down. No down feeling. That's why you're here. I'm not gonna have any down feeling. And then Tobias saying you love my ASMR. Thank you so much. That's super cool. Let's see. I'm just going through. See that. Oh, and A Johnson, you are the weatherman. Can always know what the weather is going to be when you come in. Any kind of status report, you're like a live in the moment like broadcaster. It's kind of cool. Just kind of when talking, people saying hi, all that stuff. Ooh, LOL, it's Joe. Apparently, I thought that said Joe. Hello, how's it going? I don't know how long I can stay because my internet keeps dying, but I just thought I'd pop in and say hi. That's so nice. Thank you for doing that. You could do all that stuff. Dominic Martin. So you are of the male persuasion. Call that. Abel, who has... I just noticed that your little YouTube icon is completely blank. Oh, welcome. Anyway, Abel... Abel the blank. Can I call you that? Abel the blank? I kind of like that. Idea. Anyway, sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder because I was worried that my beard had stopped growing because eventually it'll terminate out on it, but it is significantly longer than I thought it was. But I'm messing with it every day, so it looks like it's never growing. Oh, I got some wispy willies going on up here. Got my head shaved. I got We got the bun going up because my hair is an absolute mess, and I love the simplicity of the man bun. And you know, people say stuff when you will wear a man bun. But all I gotta do is just grow out one of these. No one says anything about your man bun anymore. Of course, then again, I don't care because I don't have the man bun for anyone else. I have it because I like it. I think our sanitizer is doing pretty good. Yeah, looks like sanitizer's just about through. I'm getting some granules when I'm pulling it up, but it's not bad. So I want something long and small, so I think we're going to use one of these. This is an actual teaspoon. Just going to drop it in there. We're going to leave it in there for just a little bit, and then we're going to pull this out. Don't have it. Well, I might have. You know what? Hold on. I got an idea. That's going to be too much work. Thought about using a turkey baster, but I think this will be fine. I just want to get just a little bit of something. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll keep it simple. In the meantime, I'm going to let that sanitize for just a little bit longer. I'm going to pull out my cold brew. So this is cold brew coffee. So if you like cold brew coffee and you go and you buy it at like Dutch Brothers or whatever coffee shop you go to, the only bad thing about cold brew is it tends to be really expensive. And so I just started making it at home, and I use a very specific coffee bean when I use it. I just fell in love with coffee and all the different ways to make it, as a lot of you guys know from one of my videos. So I've been making cold brew, and I'll show you how to make it as I'm going through. It's a little bit tedious, can be a little pain in the rear, but this is super concentrated stuff. Like, you would not want to drink this. It would make you sick because it's so concentrated. It's about a quart, like if you have a coffee mug, about a quarter of this, the rest of it with ice water. Mix that all up, put your flavoring or whatever you want to put in there, and there you go. A couple ice cubes, and it's awesome. Oh, I think I saw that Lion had a question. Yes. And why? Listen, Dragon Productions, why is your comment saying that it's being held for review? No. I don't know why it held your hi there message and it held it for review. That makes no sense. What that's supposed to mean. How do you put them in jars? What do you mean, Lion Place? How do I put coffee in jars? Luckily, you're going to see it, so it's all good. Ooh, Dragon Productions. It looks really cool. Would you please put a name that I can call you? I don't want to call you Dragon Productions. It's very... that seems too, like, formal. So let's see what's a better name I can call you. Dominic. I'm thinking about using the they/them pronouns eventually. Now see, that I got so many questions about some of those things, but I don't feel like it's okay or safe to ask without being dogpiled as being a racist or something. And it's like, no, I just have questions. So most of the time I just keep my mouth shut because I don't want to stumble and, you know, make someone upset or something. Okay, so looks like our spoon is sanitized. Shake that off and put that over there on my little thing. Now we're going to pop this open and take a little sample and see what we're dealing with. And I think someone was asking what I'm making. And so if you're just joining, this is sake that I'm making. I'm not going to distill it because using a like a moonshine still is illegal where I live. No one really cares, but I'm just not going to do it anyway. There's ways you can kind of distill stuff. Like if you have a wine and you're trying to make brandy, you can put it in the freezer and freeze the water, because the freezing temperature of water is warmer than alcohol. And so the water will freeze and you can just take out the chunks of ice, toss it, and so you've condensed it down. Not as good as a still, obviously, but it's a way to do it. I don't want to stir this up too much. That's why I'm being so gentle. I don't want to shake all of that together. It would eventually separate back out, but I'd rather get... That's what I thought. Don't backsass me. I really don't like this bucket. I really don't like this bucket. Set this fermenter over here. Get ourselves a little taste. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm shocked. Let me put this cap back on here and I'll tell you. Wow. Wow. So, that turned out a whole lot better than I was expecting. I taste a whole bunch of flavors in that. There's definitely alcohol, so we know that two-step process is going good. The bacteria eats the starch, makes the sugars more accessible. The yeast eats the sugars, turns that into alcohol. But that's pretty good stuff. It tastes like someone took like a handful of like raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, boysenberries, all kinds of stuff, and just went and put a little alcohol in there. It is really sweet, so I can definitely tell it's young, but it's not as milky white as I was expecting. It's closer to being clear, and I think that's because I'm being so gentle with it. So I am shocked. I can hear a lot of bubbling going on, which is good. That means that there's activity. We want that activity. And since the yeast has had long enough to make its colonies bigger, and the bacteria certainly is not having any problem doing its, is not having any problems doing its job. I'm not so paranoid about opening it up, because now if foreign bacteria gets in there, the bacteria in the yeast is going to defend itself. So they'll attack it and won't have an issue. And the good thing is that since this is more natural stuff, they're not trying to fight each other. So, because most of the time you have an issue, and technically this is a mold. So we've actually got koji, I believe, is an actual mold, and that's what's going on in there. So that is super exciting. So next step, now that I know I have viable koji, is I'm going to make some more rice. I'm just going to cook up some more sweet rice, and I steam it in a very specific way. And probably just going to add more to it, and you just add to it. This is like almost like a sourdough starter. So once it gets going, you just add more to it, and as long as you always have your starter, you can make as much as you want. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. One bad thing is I wish I had it in that glass jug. So I'm thinking what I might do is when I make more rice is I'm going to put it in the bucket, get that mixed up, and then transfer all of that over to the glass jar. And it'd be a good test. I want to see how hardy all of this is. So with that, if just transferring that is enough to kill everything off, still a good experiment. I'm only about a week into that, so it hasn't been very long. So it's a good thing. Okay, so I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to go through some of your little things here and see what's going on. Captain Stretch saying, hey there, hope you're doing well. I am. Thank you for asking. Very nice. LOL, it's Joel. What you making? Well, these are kind of old messages now, but they're making the sake, and I'm already doing some stuff with the cold brew. And Lion Plays asking, why do I put them in jars? I put the coffee in the jar so I can put it in the fridge. It doesn't have to be a jar. I use this specifically for measurement because I use 900. I use 100 grams of coarsely ground coffee in this and then fill it the rest of the way with water. That would be a little bit different if you were maybe making a gallon's worth. Then you'd have to kind of do the ratio, but I just know that this is 32 ounces, and I've been able to get my recipe down to where between 95 and 100 grams, depending on the coffee, in a 32 ounce container filled up with water, makes the kind of cold brew that I like. And then you can always adjust your strength by how much you add when you're making it. Let's see. Woodster asking how I'm doing. I'm doing very well. And so, oh, you guys were asking if it was bad? No, it was good. That's why I had to do it again. Like, so much going on. I think I'm gonna have to take another. And unfortunately, because the koji is being a little possessive at the moment, it's not wanting to give me very much because it's sitting as a layer on top, which definitely means it needs more rice. Definitely. Probably tomorrow I'm gonna add more rice to that. It really, really needs it. Because I had three cups, so it was about that thick in there, so it came up about that thick, right? And then now it's only about that thick. It's compressed down so far, and there's liquid underneath it, so it's probably only about that thick. And I know some people add water to it. I'm not adding water to it. I actually think it's better if you don't, because koji, the actual mold, doesn't like to be underwater. You'll kill it. Oh, let's see. Just kind of going through, seeing if there's Johnson. Hey Johnson, it was tagging yours is possibly inappropriate. That's not inappropriate at all. Lion Plays, are jars better to use than others? Just curious. For the cold brew, as long as it's 32 ounces and you can put it in the fridge, wouldn't matter. And we'll go on to that. Okay, so I think we're pretty caught up with the messages. So now let's move on to the cold brew. So I'm going to go ahead and you're actually going to see the whole process because I have one that's ready to strain, and then I'm wanting to make another jar. So you guys get a little special tutorial on how to make your own cold brew, since I know there's probably a sizable amount of you that can't do what I'm doing over here in brewing. So I'm going to teach you guys how to make some cold brew. So those of you that are here, stay tuned and we'll make some. I'm going to get my sanitizer out here. Is there anything else I can run through? Didn't need this guy after all. Got sun tea in here. Alright, let's empty out. Just emptying out the basin. Alrighty, so the first step is I just use these ones. Remember, the big important thing is to make sure it's 32 ounces. That's the big one. So now we've got our container. Pop that guy open. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our coffee. And this is the coffee that I use. This is Ethiopian coffee. This is Highland Ethiopian coffee. This bag was $60. It's expensive, but my cold brew tastes pretty amazing, and coffee's kind of a, you know, it's a special thing, you know. So when I drink a cup of coffee, that's my personal time in the morning. I get to sit back, whether I'm at work or I'm at home, and I get to sit back and enjoy a cup of coffee. I want good coffee, so it means something to me. So if you are if you're not a big coffee drinker, or if the coffee is normally too bitter for you or something like that, this is a great one to try. You can get it on Amazon. This is where I got it. You can get it in different sizes. You can get a 2 pound, you can get a 1 pound. This is a 5 pound. And so it'll last for a long time. Something else that's good about cold brew is there's some people that can't drink coffee because coffee naturally, especially when it's brewed hot, is very acidic and it'll upset your stomach. And if you do cold brew, it doesn't upset your stomach because significantly less acid is released because I'm not putting anything hot on it. Well, besides the bloom, I bloom my cold brews before I actually get them going. So, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. So, we got the coffee. Now we need the measuring tools. Just a little plastic cup, and get that out of the way. This is just a little weight scale. Got it on Amazon, dirt cheap, super simple, super easy to use. It's got a on button. You see it's got a backlit display. This is where you go to tear your measurements and all that stuff. So you're gonna need that. So you're gonna need a grinder. Now, don't do what I say, but not as I do. I don't like blade grinders because they're not consistent. You put a bunch of coffee in there, some of those beans won't even get touched. So I like manual hand grinders, but I have mine at work, and I need to get another one here. But this will work just fine. Just an old, run-of-the-mill, old-fashioned coffee grinder. I'm gonna use that. You guys should know what this is. So this is what I'm gonna heat up. Let me get some water in here and get it boiling. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, wait a minute. You just said that you don't brew it hot. So why are you boiling water? That's what a bloom is. So when you bloom coffee, what you're doing is you're adding just enough water to kind of saturate the grounds, and then you'll see it when I do it. But the grounds like bubble and they expand. They actually puff up, and so. Like when you're just starting out, that's a great way to make whatever coffee you have taste better, is to bloom it just before. It allows some of those flavors to kind of mature up a little bit, and then your brewing process, it's an easier, more fuller extraction of your coffee. Pro tip. Ooh, that's good sun tea. That worked good. Oh, let's see. That's getting ready. Let's look through here. Let's see. Oh, a Johnson talking about Lemonade Coyote. Lemonade Coyote was born in '89. Wow, if he was alive now, he'd be the same age as me. Wow. Yeah. poor guy. That was the guy that was, wasn't he, oh no, he was a driver for an ambulance, I think? I'm trying to remember, but not going there. Alright, LOL as Joel says, the old do as I say, not as I do, never goes well in my experience. Well, you could do it this way. To be fair, using this little cheapy grinder is a better way to get started, I suppose. It's better just to get started. Oh, Lego Creator says I just joined the Discord. Seems like it's a nice cozy place to chill. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's not super big or anything like that, but mostly got good people. We had some drama once before. You go back and see in one of my videos, I actually addressed that drama in my own drama post. Is that the thing you used in the Dragon Cafe? This I used in the Dragon Cafe. I didn't use this guy. And I didn't do cold brew then either. That was kind of a kept secret. So if you're watching the live stream, there's only way for you to see it. So anyway, back to the coffee. So what I'm going to do with this one is I want to get as close to 100 grams as possible. So I don't want to go too far over. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on there because this actually does have some weight to it. It doesn't weigh 5 grams. Try again. There we go. Alright, 5.5 grams, so I'm going to tear out the scale. So when I pull this off, it's going to say, there it is, negative 5.5. So now, I'm going to take a big old scoop of coffee here. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick this up, but you see, they're not super dark. That's because this is a light roast coffee. So I'm going to put that on there. This is 83. So we're going to top that off a little bit. Oh, there we go. A bit more there. 90. 92. There it is, 100 on the money. Wow. Okay, so we can set this aside and get rid of this, get it out of my workspace. All right. I'm gonna plug this guy in. Now the number one rule when doing this, don't over grind. Because if you grind this super fine, you're going to get dust, and that dust is going to fill up your coffee filters when you go and you try to do this. Because if you look in this one, you can see how there's a little sheen there, how it should be crystal clear. It's not crystal clear because I ground this way too fine, and that dust, some of those dust particles are so small they're able to get through your paper filter, and it gives you this kind of a effect because there's some super small sediment in there. So don't do that. Make it pretty short. I'm gonna get a little paper bowl here to collect my grounds while I'm going. So we're just gonna give it a quick grind. Excuse me as I throw my coffee beans everywhere. Okay. All right, now cover your ears for a moment. That's literally it. Literally it, and that might even been just a smidge too fine, but we're gonna call that one good. Because if you look at this, you see those grounds are not consistent at all. See, I've got there's a bean down here that's whole, some of it are small. This is why I don't like blades, because see, none of that is consistent. But for cold brew, it'll work for our purpose. And we've got the other half I'm gonna go do. Pop that in, give it a quick grind. super quick. Put that in. Make sure we get all that out. Unplug it, and out it goes. And that's it for the grinding. Super quick and easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back, and we're going to put our grounds into our container, nice and slow. Okay. So there's my coffee here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get that water heated back up, and I want to bloom this coffee for 60 seconds. So I'm going to set my timer here for 60 seconds. 1 minute. There we go. And then once it's done with its bloom, I'm just going to put cold water in from the tap. You really want to use filtered water. I don't have a filtered water. I don't have a water filter here yet. That's almost ready. It's almost ready to go. And we'll pop that in for 60 seconds. And I usually will swirl this around to make sure that the water gets, it really saturates the grounds. That's good enough, you think? Think it's good enough? That's good enough. Alright, well now, we're going to fill up and get these grounds saturated. You want just enough hot water to really get those grounds saturated. I don't want any more water in here that needs to be. You see how that's already puffed up? It smells divine. Alright, see, it's already absorbed a lot of that water. Totally didn't start the timer though, because I was too busy oohing and ahhing over the coffee. I've done this several times. I have yet to actually start the timer on time because I'm too busy Googling over the coffee. Anyway, we're just going to give it some time to puff itself up a little bit, and then we're going to fill it. I fill it right up to the neck. So we're going to give it just I don't know, maybe 15 more seconds, and then we'll get this done, and then we'll move on to straining the new stuff. So we'll do that next. Actually, that's going. I'm going to get that out of the fridge. You know, this one is unfiltered. All the coffee grounds are still in there. Let's see. Okay, that's definitely long enough. So now we're going to add cold water to this, but do it slowly so you don't break this. So I filled it up, got about up to the neck, and I'm going to put the pot back on. I'm going to give it a little shake, just a little bit. There you go. We're going to pop this in the fridge for at least 24 hours. Some people say 12. I like going a full 24 hours because it definitely makes it stronger. Because if you're gonna go through this whole process, make it strong so you don't have to do it, you know, every single day if you don't want to. So now we're gonna move on to straining this guy. Now I'm gonna strain this into a new jar. My new guy here. Now the reason that I'm doing that is because this was a failed experiment. I'm still experimenting with the recipe. So this one kind of failed because I got that sheen. I wanted I want this crystal clear. So we're gonna get this guy open. Now, when I filter my stuff out, I like using paper filters. So, nothing super amazing, nothing super expensive, just standard Walmart paper filters. I also have a Hario V60 pour over cone, which makes this a lot easier for me. This is just a plastic Hario V60 pour over cone. I like the plastic ones better than the ceramic ones. Ceramic ones rob your heat really fast. Plastic ones don't do that anywhere near as bad as the other ones do. So we're gonna get this moved over here. I want to get this to where you can see what I'm doing. How am I gonna do that? Well, let's see. Let me do some rearranging here. Get you over here where the action's at. Clean up my area a bit. Move you. There we go. That'll work. That'll work. Now you guys can see what I'm doing. And it's easier to sit like this. Anyway, I just got my little container here. Now for the Hario V60, I'll get it a little wet. Makes the paper stick to it a little bit. We're gonna pop one of these guys on here. Because it doesn't really need to be pretty. But I always wet your filters because when it comes out of the factory, there's a lot of dust, a lot of paper dust. So we're gonna put some water in there. It keeps it from that papery taste going in your coffee. See, there we go. Pour out that extra. I'm gonna put this on top. See, fits super nice like that. Pretty cool. Get that extra water out there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start straining out this cold brew. Now, it's not going to show up here. I wonder, hold on, I'm going to get my light so you can see, because the coffee will separate out. As it gets saturated, it'll drop to the bottom. If you've done anything with a, move, so that's probably better. If you've done anything with a French press, as the coffee grounds, they're floating. As they get saturated, they start to sink. And that's what they've done here. You might be able to see it, I'm not sure. I'm going to pop my flashlight on and see if that, not real, there you go. That kind of gives you an idea. You can see that the coffee grounds kind of stop here. The rest of this is all pretty dark. Try not to blind you with my flashlight. But this is usually pretty dark. And it's going to stay like that. I'm going to pop and see what you guys have been commenting. I'm sorry I haven't been addressing the comments. Karen in the wild, I'm so sorry. Uh-oh. Does someone have interaction with a Karen? Yeah, no Karens. We don't want any Karens. Yeah, interesting. A lot of you guys are saying that it's been a long week. You know, it was definitely a long one for me too. The week did not want to die. It went kicking and screaming. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get back to this. So I'm going to gently pour that in because I don't want to get all of those grounds in there. So I'm just going to kind of pour it from the top. Still be some grounds in there though. Now, since you have those little, I'm going to move this. Since we still have some of those little sediment particles in there, it is going to clog up this filter pretty fast. So how I get past that is I like to keep this moving. So I'll sit here and I tap on it a little bit, keep the whole point is to keep, I want to try and keep all those grounds moving. So this is a tedious process, but I think that the result is really nice. Oh, looks like LOL is gonna take off for the night. Well, thank you for stopping in. And yeah, this is all there is to it. It's just, it is very tedious. Like, see, this is already starting to gum up. You see it's already slowed down. So that's just part of the process. You just gotta get in there and tap it, be a little aggressive with it. And usually I go through a bunch of filters. See, and then we'll take it like this. We can help it along a little bit, picking it up and moving it against the cone. Just the pressure of bumping it up against the cone will get those grounds moved around, kind of knock them out a little bit. You just have to be careful because this is a little precarious, because if that rips, all those grounds go in there and you get to do it all over again. So now it's just the little tedious part, but it makes some amazing coffee. So I get a little bit in there. This might have been ground a little bit fine too. That's okay. That's all right. Still a little bit in there, but you do lose a little bit. When you're making cold brew, you do lose a little bit of your liquid. That's okay, because any of the liquid you're going to lose out on is super saturated by those little micros. See, I got most of that out, so that's going to go. And they're garbage because I don't have a composter. Wish I did. Okay. On to the next. The filter behaves a lot better when it's wet too. It won't fight as much. There we go. All nice and wet. While I'm doing this, has any of you guys played Persona 5? I bet you a lot of people in this live stream have played Persona 5. I'm going through it right now. I've started it several times, but I've never finished it for whatever reason. I really want to. Let that go. See, we've already done quite a bit. There's not much liquid left in there. And when you do this the first time, it's a little disheartening, because when you get done, there's probably only going to be about that much concentrate in this. When I'm done straining this, it's probably only going to come up to here. Remember, that's super concentrated stuff, and please do not drink this on its own. It will make you sick. And if you have any problems with caffeine whatsoever, you will vomit long before this actually starts working on you. So definitely be careful with this. Don't be a hero. Just do the same thing. Do the 1/4 to 3/4. I like strong coffee, and 1/4 of this with 3/4 of ice water is good. It's pretty good. You can make it stronger, I guess. Just don't drink it on its own. Some people do, and those people are crazy. Sediment's starting to gum this out. Oh, speaking of, so I'm decided that I'm gonna buy a Nintendo Switch tomorrow. Do you guys have any game recommendations? I'd love to get some game recommendations. I'm wanting to get LA Noire because it's just a game that I absolutely adore. And of course, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, definitely want to get that. And I'm thinking about getting Phoenix Rising also. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any suggestions on games for the Switch. It's extremely nerve-wracking because you're worried you're gonna break it open and then have to do it all over again. Actually, technically, it probably would be good to do it over again, but that's a little bit too much even for me. Actually, I was thinking about this shirt. I have a secret YouTube channel that I use for when I'm personally, listening to music or whatnot. And the very first live stream I ever did is actually me playing that in the woods. Got a little bit there. We're gonna shake it up a little bit, get some of those grounds moving. There, see, look at that. Look at how much better that's going. All right, round 2, so we're almost on to round 3. Usually use about 3 or 4 of these. Now see, if you grind this too fine, you'll be doing this for at least an hour and a half. The cloudy one that I showed you, that's got that sheen on it, that took me almost an hour to get that all the way through because these were gumming up left and right, and it was so fine I couldn't get the coffee to go through it in any way. It was awful. But that's why you try new stuff. You learn new strategies and you learn how to adapt. There we go. That bad boy in there. Get as much water out of there as possible. And now I'm going to use the inside cover of one of these lids. Just because I'm getting to some of these big particles, and I'm going to do this to kind of strain out some of those big particles. I think that's as good as I'm going to get out of that one. Actually, we did pretty good on that one. It's about just about halfway. Just pretty good. We got some long messages, so I'm going to go through some of these messages now. I'm gonna have a step ladder down here, and I'm going to sit on that while this is doing its thing. Oh, you know what? Actually, that works pretty darn good. So we're going to turn it this way. Oh, there we go. Ah, it's so nice. Bending over like that, destroying my back. Getting old. I don't like that. Don't let the gray fool you, okay? I ain't 60-something. Although, I don't get carded anymore. That's nice. Okay, let's see. Mindbender. What do you say? There's a game I've heard of called... Oh, wait, no, sorry, when you said Little Dragon Cafe, I was like, yes, I know that's one of my videos, but no, I know which game you're talking about. It has a red dragon in it. Yeah, I've heard of this. Seems like a fun, more relaxing game. Haven't bought it, but kind of want to. Like, no joke. I saw that and I had the same kind of reaction. I wanted to get it, but it looks like it's that same kind of style as the second Bravely Default game, where they're all kind of chibi. Is it chibi or chibi? I don't know. Anyway, the smaller figurines, pretty cool. Woodster. Only Nintendo Switch game I know is Monster Hunter Rise. See, now I have Monster Hunter for the PC. I have that, and I've got the big expansion they did that has all it's up in the mountains. It's all the winter stuff. Fortunately, it wasn't. I bought it at launch, and I bought the deluxe version, but haven't been able to play it because the gaming group that I was playing with just all of a sudden just kind of stopped. Never got in contact with them again. Never had a way to get in contact with them again. Anyway, the point is that I have that on PC and I would love to play it, but it's been a while since I've played it, so I have to learn how to do everything over again. Oh, gives me a headache just thinking about it. Anyway, so I've heard of Yes, Woodster, Iceborne. You got it. I just saw it pop up in that little corner there. You got it, Iceborne. You got it dead on. Ooh, Lion plays. Imagine if a Khan approached you. Imagine if a Khan approached you for a 1 hour cooking tutorial. A Khan? A Khan? You mean like a convention? Approaching me for an hour-long cooking tutorial? As you see, I was only going to do this for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. It is way past that. It's 70 minutes going. Woodster. Oh, so Iceborne. Now, see, now I have a question because you seem like an aficionado, so I'm going to ask this to you. So it all looked amazing to me, but the Iceborne, at least on Steam, I think it has mixed reviews. Like it wasn't, like people didn't find it super amazing. Is there something in it that I'm missing? Do people find it unrewarding or something? I don't know, a lot of the Steam reviews are confusing to me anyway. Yeah, because you can't tell if some of them, if they're being serious or if they're joking or whatever. But yeah, so let me know. Were you saying that Monster Hunter is your favorite game, or is this Iceborne expansion like your favorite? And also want to know what you use. What weapons do you use? I think when I stopped, I was using, is it the long sword? The long katana. That's what I was using. I could do all the aerial slashes and stuff. God, that was fun. I think I also used the great sword. Yeah, I used that. But my favorite of all of them, World. That's it. I saw it in that low corner. I saw the W. I knew it wasn't just Monster Hunter. I was like, wait, there's like 1,000,000 Monster Hunters. Monster Hunter World, of course. Yes. Ella. Oh, you use longsword. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So with that's one of my favorite ones. I love the ones where you can flip it up in the air and all of that. But it was kind of cool that our gaming group, each one specialized in something. So we had our kind of leader person had the great sword. We had an archer. We had the gunner, bow gunner. I had the long sword, and yeah, that was really fun. So, and if any of you guys heard of that game, Phoenix? Is it Phoenix Rise or Phoenix Rising? One of those. That game looks pretty good too. So I've been considering that one too. See, I'm seeing some stuff. Ooh, Birmingham, Alabama. Damage from a violent tornado. Thank you, newscaster. Let's see. I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. They don't mind, I'm sure. Imagine if a Khan approached you for a 1 hour cooking tutorial. I don't know what I would cook. See, I'm not a big cooking person. You know, the one thing that I would love to show people how to make, because you'd think it's really involved, and it is to a little degree, but it's not bad, and that's making tamales. I love making tamales. Actually, I have one of those big tamale steamers, and it's a little bit more art than science, but they're perfectly easy to make, and I love that you can make them in a big batch, so you can eat off of it for the next week. It's really nice. I do that, and my meal prep is good for quite a while. It's awesome. Cool. All right, let's see what we got going on over here. Got a little bit of liquid. See, I'm gonna bring this over to you, but you can see up in here all that sediment, not the liquid stuff, but up here on top, like where the filter is, see, like right up in there, that's all dust. It's all dust. Now see, if you're using a manual grinder or an actual like burr grinder, you wouldn't have that kind of dust. But since it's a blade grinder and it can shatter them when it cuts through it, it makes all of this dust. So that's the only bad thing about that. So we're gonna go ahead and, oh, well, it was nice to sit down. I gotta stand back up. Alright, let's see the fruits of our labors here. There we go. See, so that was actually a pretty good extraction. That was a pretty good one. Oh, Lion Place, I think I just saw that you said you were heading out. The stream's almost over. I just wanted to get to this part. Like I said, the alcohol stuff. I know a lot of the people that watch my stuff can't even drink alcohol yet. So I wanted to give you something that you could do if you're a coffee drinker. There you go. If you'd like to be a coffee drinker, but the coffee upsets your stomach, there you go. And this can be done with decaf too. So if you get those horrible caffeine headaches, this is a perfect thing to do with decaffeinated coffee. It'll work just as well. Just like that. That'll be good for quite a while. So I'm just going to take this up, pop this back in the fridge. Stuff around. But yeah, just like that, you've got cold brew. You just fill it up a quarter, rest with ice water, put your stuff in there, give it a quick stir, and you just saved yourself $5-6. Some places $7 or $8 for a thing of cold brew. Like you say, like I say, it is pretty tedious. I find this kind of tedious stuff really relaxing because I can focus on something. Yeah, super simple. I'm pretty sure Dragon Productions already dipped out, but I wasn't even going to do a live stream. It was specifically for because I saw him do that. His live stream yesterday. He did one today too. Unfortunately, I did miss most of it because I was getting stuff set. I'm trying to see where's the last video. Lion Plays. Man, guy was dominating. Cool. So I'm glad that Lion Plays, you're still here. Yeah, like you were dominating in the comment section. Not a bad thing. I was doing that with Dragon Productions and their live stream. I was extremely active, but that's cool. I like it when people are active and wanting to talk and converse. That's cool. It's pretty neat. And, yeah, it was his stream was really fun. He's a really nice kid. He's a nice kid. Don't apologize, Lion Plays. I think I see over there it says sorry. Don't apologize. You got nothing to apologize for. Like I said, I think it's super cool. Super cool that you're motivated enough to ask all those questions and do the interacting. That's pretty neat. If you notice that I haven't shut up for 2 seconds together since I started filming, so I have no problem talking either. I can talk all night long, so no problem with that. And actually, if Lion Productions was here, I would have to thank him because I was considering just getting off of YouTube altogether. It's because of some other drama stuff that had happened. It really was. I was thinking about just cutting out, but I'm glad I didn't. This is a fun little creative outlet. Someone, Sebastian Songgrass says, I like your beard. Oh, well, thank you. This has been going on for, let's see. Oh, you're very slow at spelling. I can't save. I can't save. See, I can't speak either, but I can't spell to save my skin. And I'm an office manager, so you don't have to know how to spell. You just gotta look. You gotta know how to look up stuff really quick on your phone. That's what you gotta know how to do. But yeah, so this is, let's see. I think by April 15th, this will have been a year. So, and I have done trimming on it. It's kind of like your hair. You want to keep it trimmed because if you start getting split ends, it'll stop growing, and the hair on your face doesn't grow at even rates. So if I let this go entirely, my beard would grow like this. This side grows faster than this side, which ironically is the same thing it does on my head. Is it grows faster on this side than this side. But yeah, if you're doing beard stuff, actually, you know what? I'm gonna pop you guys into the bathroom and I'll show you what I use for beard stuff. So if you're thinking about growing a beard or something like that, I think it's a cool thing. If you can do it, I say, you know, rock it. If it's your thing, if it's not your thing, it's totally fine too. So let me take you into the bathroom real quick and I'll show you. I'll show you what I use. Covering this up. Ooh, it's dark. My family likes, they like mermaids, so actually I gotta make sure there ain't no naked mermaids in here. I don't think so. I think we're good. Let's pop this. Okay. Oh, this is, yeah, this is actually kind of a nice little framing shot, isn't it? All of this stuff. This is all the stuff I use for my hair. So for hair growth too, don't wash your hair every day. That's a major no-no. So definitely, I use a detangling brush because nothing hurts worse than having a tangle that you can't see and like running through that with a comb. You think having a knot in your head and going through and catching the knot in your head, it is 10 times worse if you go through that and you catch it with your beard. Like that hurts. There's no way around it. That just hurts. So I'll show you the stuff that I use. This is not everything you have to use. Some of these are different things. So definitely, if you're starting growing, you definitely need beard oil. Because you know, like when your hair starts growing, it really itches. That's because your skin's drying. And so definitely have some beard oil. This is just some local stuff. You can get this on Amazon, Bulldog. This is some really good stuff. No dropper in it. It just has a little spout. Puts drops in your hands. When you're first starting out, like if you just have a little bit of stubble, 2-3 drops max. Do that. Rub it in and actually get it into the skin. You don't really care so much about the hair itself. You care about the skin, because if the skin dries and your beard will have these really gross flakes. It's disgusting. But this was the other one that I was using. This stuff's a little bit more expensive, but I would use this if I could find it again. This is some good stuff. I really like their brand. So I use beard oil and beard balm. I use both. I didn't really worry about that until it started getting some length on it. Like it's still pretty short. But these are the two things that I use. This is some good stuff from that I got off Amazon. This is lemon. I think this is lemon. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've used that. That's almost out. And you just use just a little bit. The only difference really is that this has beeswax in it. So think of it almost like a super light styling gel. So it just kind of keeps everything together. Big thing is having a beard conditioner. So the shampoo and conditioner you use on your head, completely different than what you need on your beard. Because if you do that, it'll strip the oils. Another thing is I stay away from those beard straighteners. My gosh, those beard straighteners are pretty bad. Like they take so much hydration out of your beard that it just turns into a brick. And it can pull on your skin and get really, really uncomfortable. But yeah, so definitely get a detangling brush, because then you can just rake that thing through and you don't have to worry about catching knots and those kind of things, because that's what it's designed to do. And so yeah, I comb this thing out probably 2-3 times a day, because you don't want to start clumping together and making dreads. And then for when I'm going out, I can tell I just had shaved my beard when I use this guy, because this got a bunch of little stuff in it. But I use boar's hair brushes. Let's see if I can, there you go, get you a name. I really like these. There's two specific ones. This is a coarser brush, and this one's soft. So the coarser one is just for, you know, after you've got your stuff in it, just keeping the hair in place a little bit. Okay. And the soft one is for all those flyaways. It'll keep those flyaways, keep them down a little bit. Feels nice too. It feels weird when you're out here and combing something, and it's like, what? It's so weird to feel that. And I have curly hair for my beard anyway. Some people just have straight hair. So you see, if I take it and I pull that down, see how much, it's almost like, what was that, like a half an inch, quarter inch of extra hair, but it all bounces up because it's so curly. And if I do comb out my beard, don't use a plastic comb. Plastic combs can actually, since they're usually made in presses, you know, so they'll have a sheet of plastic, and the press, you know, which is like a, well, you guys know what a press is. I'll explain it. And it cuts it out, and you can tell that's the case because this has that line that you can feel right there. That's where it's cut out. And since this is two pieces, especially the new ones, if you rake that through, first of all, see, like, that's hard for it to rake through, and it's just going to pull the hair out. You don't want that. But yeah, that's when you want this. Get a wooden one. And you see it's got the coarse side and the fine side. Coarse side is really good for after you use your detangling brush. Don't go in with this because you'll catch that, and see, it can just stick in my beard. So if you got a knot, boom, that hurts. But that's good too. The super thin one, again, just to get those fine hairs in place. And for shaping, because there's all kinds of shapes. You know, you can do a more pointed. I do a little bit more of a boxy, rounded one because I think that fits my head better. And then last, oh, I sorry, put that over here. This is another one. This is another really good brand that I like. They make good stuff. They make a fantastic mustache wax. So if you want to take this, so you can take that and spin that, pop that up. Oh, good Lord, that's long. I used to have a handlebar mustache before I grew the beard, and good gracious, that's long. Look how long that is. Goodness. But anyway, you can do that and flare that up if that's your style. I like the flat style, so I want to comb that back down. Yeah, there we go. But see, I need to clean that out. See all of that? That's a, no, you do lose a lot of hair out of your beard. It's kind of crazy. So I have a, you know, like a wide one, and I'll go through once in a while and pull out. Okay, that's all beard hair. So, and you lose around 200 follicles out of your head every day. I mean, mine's obviously lose a little less since most of my hair isn't even there anymore. And then the last but not least, you got gotta have your Viking bling. Let's see which one we're gonna put in. Let's see which one we got. I need to look up so I can figure out what all of them mean. They all represent something. I use this guy. This is a little threader. I'm gonna preload the bead. This is where I'm gonna come closer because I'm gonna use this as a mirror. There we go. There we go. Actually, I want to kind of get an idea where you want it. I kind of want it there. Just this out of the way. Try to get it somewhat straight. And you're just gonna twist that bad boy. Get a good twist going. What time is it? 11? I think I'm an hour behind you. I think it's only 10. Oh crap! No, it's 11 here too. Jeez. Okay, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna put this guy through that. We're gonna take a moment and get that through. There we go. Now you're just gonna pull it through. Usually you have to go to the ends. You have to test it. There you go. See, your beard will tell you when it's ready. There we go. Position it, kind of flare out the ends. Get that where you want it. There we go. And then now, since you've wiled out all of this, you go back in with your brush and just very gently calm everybody down here. There you go. There you go. Now you got some beard bling. See? And you can, like, I've braided it a couple of times, but my beard's pretty full, and I still shave up. Oh, this all needs to go. But I shave up just two fingers above the Adam's apple. That's where you want it. 2 fingers above the Adam's apple is where your hairline starts. And even that, like, look how freaking thick that thing is. But that's how my hair is on top too. Just this, and it looks like I have a full head of hair when I take it down. It's pretty insane. Oh, well, anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. It's a little hangout sesh, if you will. And yeah, so I got some cleanup I gotta do, and gotta get some stuff put away before we get going for tomorrow, because I gotta do some shopping and do some other stuff. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I know that this is pretty late for a lot of you guys. So this is the late night show. So gotta close this guy up. You can get these things on Amazon too, and they come with the threaders. These guys, you don't have to use these. You could use, like, thread would work too. Just kind of loop the thread and hold both ends here. Put your beard through the loop and pop that through. There you go. No problem. No problem. And then do all kinds of stuff. This stuff is really cool too. This is old style stuff. And you see, I desperately need more. Really good skin prep, because I shave with a straight razor, which I haven't done in a while. You see, all this needs to go. But yeah, when you get to the point where you have some experience shaving, and if you have sensitive skin like I do, like, as you can see, I got a thick beard. I got a beard like nails. So when I'm trying to shave with sensitive skin, I break out patches, red patches all over when I'm shaving. So straight razor is definitely the way to go. It's a little intimidating. You just go slow, but yeah, most comfortable shave you'll ever have is with a straight razor. A lot of videos you can look up on that too. I'm gonna have my straight razor in here. Otherwise, I'd show you. I don't maybe even have it in here. Anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and for a little self-promotion, you guys know I have a Discord. You see the button, and it is working, because I have updated it, the link, so we're good on that one. And I'm still working on the sake video. Getting that set. That's gonna be a long one. But hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time. I hope everyone has a nice night, and get some rest, because tomorrow's gonna come pretty soon for a lot of you. So you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.